It never ceases to amaze me how many times grading companies get involved in some sort of drama or hot water. It's really a never-ending cycle that a lot of people have noticed, especially recently. And no, not even in the 2020-21 pandemic when grading companies was at their max capacity. Even then, they weren't doing as many mistakes as they do now. Now, if you guys don't know what I'm going to be talking about today, I did cover a similar topic a couple weeks ago, but now, of course, I was right. More instances have happened of this specific issue, and we're going to be talking about it. Now, before I do, though, I would like to mention that Opossum Bud and Dama made fantastic videos covering this, so definitely make sure to check them out if you haven't already. To kind of do a little short recap, a guy named Isle Collectibles made a video talking about how his grading submission actually ended up with a lot of his cards being nicked in the corner, and these aren't just some low-end, maybe $100 cards, and even if it was a $100 card, I would still frankly be pissed. But no, these cards are some insanely valuable cards that are honestly one of the most expensive full art trainer cards ever, like this Hex Maniac Japanese card. In a PSA 10 price, that is going for upwards for $10,000. If he got a 10 on this, if there wasn't that small defect that PSA definitely did, and I'm going to talk about how they did that in a sec, but if this card got a 10, that's insane. Like, this would be like a holy grail. It really is just very unfortunate to see that PSA is continuing doing this small mess up, and to my knowledge, they're not doing anything to fix it. In my opinion, the more people that talk about this, the more chances there is that PSA is gonna look into the issue. Now, during the video, Isle Collectibles was pretty distraught. He was very pissed in the video. And in my opinion, I think it was completely warranted. I know a lot of people were kind of like, dude, just come on, it's just cardboard, bro. There's no need to be completely mad about it. And I think it's just such a dumb argument, because I know damn well if those people got their submission messed up like this, especially with these type of cards, they would be freaking pissed. They would probably file a lawsuit if they were rich. People have no idea how expensive and how valuable these cards are. And aside from the value, maybe these cards had sentimental value as well. But if it's sentimental value, then why is he worried about some sort of nick? It doesn't matter. PSA's job, first verify it's real, put it in a plastic case so it's protected. We don't want it damaged. We want to protect it, goddammit. So taking a little bit of a closer look to the damaged cards, you see on this Hex Maniac, on the top right corner, I don't know if you guys see it completely, but on the top right corner, there is a white nick. Now, a lot of people are going to come at me and say, how do you know it was there before? What if he just didn't notice it before he sent it in? Well, to that, I say this. Now, what is this? This is a PSA scanned version. Now, what PSA does, whenever they receive cards, they do a scan of it and then they grade the card. It's like insurance, just in case if these instances happen, that they could obviously tell if they did a mistake or not. And obviously, if you zoom into the top right corner of this specific card, you'll see that there aren't no white lines, white scruffs or whatever. That means it's 100% PSA's fault. Isle Collectibles actually made a video about this a couple months ago where his other cards also got affected. Now, it's so crazy. It happened 2 times to this guy. Not only once, but 2 times. That means it's actually a big problem. He could be the most unlucky person in the world, but I'll be honest, that isn't some sort of type of coincidence, especially if you look back on other videos on surfacing other social media platforms. You'll see that this same issue has been popping around like on a plethora of different times. For example, the video I covered a couple weeks ago, another person being affected by the same type of PSA error. It isn't like a one-time deal, and it's been happening ever pretty much since. And it's honestly getting pretty concerning. And the Hex Maniac that Isle Collectibles had wasn't the only card that was affected. No. There's plenty of other cards that were affected as well, including the Gengar. Like, it's an insane pull from Phantom Gates, or for you English folks, Phantom Forces. And even if it was in English, this would be an insane pull regardless. And especially in Japanese, that is an insane pull. It's just super unfortunate to see that the same guy was affected by this error 2 times. Now, I don't really know how PSA is able to do this. This type of error is in the exact same spot on the top right corner, and it happened consistently over all case scenarios. So that means it has to do some sort of with a machine issue, if I had to guess. Obviously, it's not done manually, because then you would obviously see maybe some different corners being affected by this change. So the only way for this to happen is for it to be a machinery issue. And even if it's a machinery issue, I don't even know how that's freaking possible. Now, I'm pretty sure they put the cars in the slabs themselves, and then they use probably the machine to compress the slab together to make sure it's nice and firm and it sticks together. So I'm not too sure how this even happened, but in my opinion, I think PSA should definitely fix this issue, or at least look into it, because I could understand if it only happened once, but I'll be honest, I've been seeing way too much content about this. So yeah, PSA, you gotta freaking fix your grading process or figure out what's causing this problem. I'm really sorry for Isle Collectibles, because that is really unfortunate. Seeing those, like, really, I mean, I would love to have a Hex Maniac. Like, that is one of my chase cards that I would love to have in my hand. I really don't like how people are coming at this guy and saying, oh, it's not really a big deal, even though very well, if this happened to them, they would react to the same way, if not worse. So yeah, I think it's just really unfair. I hope he gets some sort of compensation by PSA. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Just wanted to fill you guys in, and I'll see you later, weebs.